Hello and welcome everyone, I'm Madals and today I've got game 1 of a best of 3. It's from the ESET UK Masters, it's a PvP, and let's get straight to this and introduce the two players. Spawning in the top right position, the blue Protoss from Team Dignitas, it's BlinG. And his opponent down in the lower left, the red Protoss player from Madals, it is HasuObs. So Mouse Esports are a really cool team. They are awesome. We had one of their newest players, Hope, actually in one of the ESET show matches a couple of days ago. So he put up a really good show against White Ra. Won't spoil the result, but it was impressive. That's all I'm going to say. Now, of course, this is back at the ESET UK Masters 2013 Grand Finals. So it's interesting to see how this goes. And I can't actually remember, did we cast this? Apparently Todd and Jorasar cast this, but I'm just going to redo this because I don't know if the VODs are up. And I remember that I have cast a PvP for actually quite a while, and I like trying to mix up the matchups as best as I can, because if you can mix up the matchups, it's always exciting, because if mixed up matchups just means that no matter which race you like, which matchup you like, hopefully my channel has got something for it. And when you're doing daily uploads as well, you can get into patterns of casting one race too much, and I try not to do that, but it is somewhat replay dependent, and that is something that I do try to facilitate for as best I can. But let me know in the comments below, what is your favourite matchup, what would you like me to cast more of, and I will try my bestest to hunt some more out to just do what you, the viewer, likes the most. And yeah, in terms of the opening of the moment, looking fairly standard. We've got one gate, one gas, one gate, two gas from BlinG. So BlinG going to just go a bit more tech heavy, probably going to go 2 probes in each, I'd imagine, compared to the 3 probes on the single gas. Just give you slightly better income, but still gets a good amount of minerals out. Mothership cores do play quite an integral part in PvP. Come Heart of the Swarm, just because with Photon Overcharge you can try to take a bit more of a greedy expansion, but one-bay pushes are a bit less effective just due to Photon Overcharge, I'd say. So that's something to look out for. Void Rays, of course, are very, very strong against Stalkers, and just adding into a Gateway army can make them very potent indeed. And that's along with all the other Wings of Liberty strategies that which are still really quite effective. And of course, Daybreak is a Wings of Liberty map, and the saying somewhat goes at the moment that Wings of Liberty map, Wings of Liberty build order. So we'll see if that holds true with these two for the moment, but BlinG just getting his Cyber Core out, the Cyber Core just completing up for both players really at the same time. Very similar builds. HasuObs getting his Mothership Core out slightly sooner. BlinG favouring just pumping out a few more probes, going to get an additional probe to his opponent just slightly earlier on. Not a massive deal, but it does mean that the Mothership Core for HasuObs will have more energy on it, and that's always the important thing, because the energy is what really matters. It what makes it a pretty mediocre, a pretty terrible unit, to be honest, in terms of its damage and health, into being absolutely amazing. Mass Recall, Photon Overcharge, and even Time Warp, very, very strong. Time Warp in PvP, potent as well. If you can get it on your opponent's Stalkers, you can really get a couple of free volleys off when they're trying to retreat, and that can make a big difference, especially early game. So something for you to watch out for during this game. Hopefully I will catch any of those should they come down. Meanwhile, Chrono boosting out quite a few Stalkers actually here, so 2 Stalkers and a Zed are going to be going on a bit of pain. BlinG at the moment just starting up his own Mothership Core at the moment. He's also got 3 gates out, so clearly fearing a bit of pressure, whereas HasuObs not really doing very much at all. He's got both gas down, but not really using it for the time being. The probe was taken out. We have the Mothership Core coming up the back, could try and do some damage. The Mothership Core for BlinG is now out. A Stalker on Stalker fight, which BlinG is winning, but with the reinforcements that will be coming in momentarily, will no longer be winning. Also BlinG winning up here, just with the additional gateways. He's going to have to use a lot more than his opponent. Doesn't have Warp Gate tech done yet. Mothership Core is able to get a couple of probe kills though, which is always good news, and if you can get a couple of probes dead, then you're going to be very happy with that for just your Mothership Core sitting around not really doing very much at all. Warp Gate tech is now complete though for the Dignitas player. That means that he can get some Stalker Warp in shortly and put an end to this, but quite a bit of mining time is being lost. Meanwhile, back at home, we've got additional gateways coming down for Hasu. BlinG now warping in those Stalkers will save the rest of his probes, but 4 kills is not anything to be ashamed of with a Mothership Core, and definitely a nice little use of it there. BlinG is going to get a free Stalker though, that's the important thing, and he's also getting a proxy pylon down, so this amount of time to spend on one gate could be a bit of a problem. BlinG also bringing his Mothership Core down from the side. The Stalker count currently is 4-1, and Stalkers are still such an integral part of Stargate coming down, but BlinG will scout that. He can start working away at these probes himself. The Stalkers for Hasu getting pulled back, a force field getting thrown down, expecting a push in the front, but BlinG not doing that. Instead, he's just making sure that this Mothership Core for HasuObs doesn't really get any more kills than it desperately needs to. Just get one more pro kill there, which of course is good news for him. The Stalker's now going to be coming across the map. We've also got the Twilight Council and a 4th gateway coming down for BlinG, so this could be some really effective BlinG play. The sentries are out though, that means a lot of defense could come down. HasuObs going to try and secure his natural base, and will it hold true that he who expands first loses first? And that of course was the motto of PvP for a long period of time, and arguably still is a big thing. BlinG though, he's getting down his Dark Shrine, so he's going to be going for some DTs, not BlinG. This could be really effective because there is no detection out. The Oracle on its way, but if that Oracle goes across the map in order to deal some harassment damage and activates its attack, then obviously it won't have the energy for that detection. So this is now getting down to a really tough spot for Hasu. If he keeps the Oracle around, he should be fine because he's going to have detection and vision on there. If he turns it over and uses its energy, then guess what? Those DTs that will be warping in very shortly, in roughly 45 seconds time, they will be absolutely devastating. And of course the Stalkers there's still a couple of Stalkers back here. That means that BlinG will be able to defend against this Oracle that's coming over. A Void Wave following it up, and the Oracle is getting so far out of position now. The Dark Shrine is but just 23 seconds away, and that is when those DTs will warp in. There is nothing here to really defend it, and DTs, if you don't have detection, really do send an end to all of it. The Mothership Core up on the high ground there, the other Mothership Core for HasuObs granting the vision, and this is where things get really quite tense. The Oracle so far out of position, and here comes 3 DTs. It's a big commitment by BlinG, but it's going to pay off because the only detection on the field for HasuObs is on the other side of the map. There is not even any force fields coming down in time. The sentry's getting focused, one goes down, and that means that the time without it is going to be heavily delayed. The Oracle trying to do some damage, going head to head with this Stalker, will be successful. Where is the warp in? It is getting closer. Now we see BlinG actually warping in with an Archon, so interesting choice there, especially when there's no detection around. And there goes down the Time Warp as well, so I'm not quite sure why BlinG chose to actually warp in the Archon there when there was no detection, but the single DT is still doing some nice damage. We've got an Oracle desperately trying to get Chrono boosted out. Meanwhile, back at home, this Oracle has managed to rack up 14 kills. This is now a really tough position for both of these players. This DT does, these 2 DTs for BlinG, should I say, need to deal an incredible amount of damage because Hasu killed 20 workers this game compared to just 4 so far of BlinG. The Stalkers are up here though. They should be able to take out this Nexus fairly soon, but there goes down the Invision. The DT's desperately trying to run away, get out of range of the Oracle, and will be able to do so. The Oracle is a giant bullseye now, because if the Stalkers would be able to pick it off, then of course there'd be no more detection there. But HasuObs, he's got his robotics facility on its way down. Things not now looking very good for BlinG. He wasn't able to do any substantial damage, but did take substantial damage back at home, down to only 15 probes to 28 of HasuObs. That is a substantial, I'd argue, an absolutely massive advantage for the red Protoss player, and the main base is undefended. The Oracle does have enough energy there for some damage, but BlinG, he knows he's got to come in for a big push. He's got the Archon now on its way. He needs to take out this natural base, because otherwise he will be in a huge amount of trouble. The Void Wave there though as well will be able to start helping. There's the Time Warp, and there's the GG. BlinG getting completely caught out of position. So that was game 1. It goes to HasuObs. Flick over to my channel. See you at game 2 any second. Before you go though, like, subscribe, comment. See you in 2 times.